Hi guys, I'm a bit late to this because I was sick, but I'm going to be doing my top 5 books I read in 2025. My goal for 2025 was to read 22 books, and I read 24. So let's get into it. My top 5. Okay, my number 5 book is Salvage by Heji Choi. I read a good mix of prose and poetry, and I was so excited for Heji Choi's debut collection, and I read it. And while I'm very biased towards this book because I'm such a big fan of her work, I felt that the language was so exact. It felt cutting, but it also felt just so tender. And I was so excited to read this collection. It just cuts into the heart of what it means to care, looks at its arteries, and then sews everything back up so nicely. So number 5 is Salvage by Heji Choi. My number 4 book for 2025 was The Supposed Huntsman by Katie Fowley. I was so surprised by this book. It's their debut collection. It is so unserious, yet it finds such beauty in that silliness. It showed me that the world, yes, it is crumbling, but the crumbs the world leaves behind are delicious and worth savoring. So number 4 is The Supposed Huntsman by Katie Fowley. Okay. My number 3 book is The Book Censor's Library by Buthaina Alessa. And this is a satirical fiction book about a book censor whose job it is to censor books, who falls in love with reading and classical fiction characters. And this book really captures, right now, a really pivotal moment in American history of the book banning and the book censorship we're experiencing. And this book is so anxious, and I'm anxious about the censorship state in America and around the world as well. And this book just really collapses classic literature into something we can all relate to. And within it, I find that resistance is uncontainable in every system and is so vital. And it's a great way to approach what's happening in our society right now and possibly for much longer. So number 3 is The Book Censor's Library. Okay, my number 2 book is If an Egyptian Cannot Speak English by Noor Naga. This book talks about a man who is living in Egypt, wanting to be anything but a part of Egypt, while an American Egyptian comes to Egypt searching for culture and identity, and how it talks about, how these two see themselves in one another, and how you could try to find oneself in the other, and it just is so beautifully unbalanced. It is not constant. This book is constantly vibrating, and I enjoyed it so much. And if you've also did creative writing in an academic setting, you'll really like the third part of the book, which is I have done creative writing in an academic setting, and I resonated really deeply with that section. And this book talks so deeply about identity and what it means to use one another. So number 3, If an Egyptian Cannot Speak English. My number 1 book, which I won't shut up about to everyone I pass by, is The Rabbit Hutch by Tess Gunty. Everything about this book was perfect. Everything about this book was beautifully, finely crafted. I can see the writer's mind at work, and I love being able to see that when I read a book. And The Rabbit Hutch is delicately tuned. The characters felt so alive. The world is alive. Everything is alive in The Rabbit Hutch. It's not. It is such a beautiful contrast to the world and holds up a mirror to it. And I really, really recommend this book. You will not regret this. There's no way to regret something that is perfect ruin. And that is my top 5 books of 2025. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you next year at the end of 2026 with more books. Thanks, guys.